Brand new since 6. Kentucky's Supreme Court declares a 4-year-old law unconstitutional. Your tax dollars cannot be used to fund public charter schools. The issue headed to the court after voters in all of Kentucky's counties said no, so it was being challenged. WHS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester are hearing from both sides about this big decision.
We've had to wait a while for the court's decision, but we are very, very pleased.
The Kentucky Supreme Court rules that a 2022 law on public charter schools is unconstitutional. They cannot use tax dollars to fund their operations.
Our Constitution requires a system of common schools and funds a common set of schools, and that is not what a charter school is.
Jessica Heiler is the vice president of Kentucky Education Association. She supports public funds being used for public schools. In 2024, voters in all 120 counties struck down the constitutional amendment that would have allowed state tax dollars to be used for charter schools, known as Amendment 2. That led to the Supreme Court.
I know that when they were hearing arguments back in the fall, I was there when they did that, and those were questions that were asked by the justices because they, it's very clear that the voters said, no, this is not what we want here.
It's extremely disappointing.
Caleb O'Brown is the chief executive officer for Bluegrass Institute. He says the court answered the wrong question.
But they didn't answer the question of whether or not the general fund can be used to fund education.
Brown argues schools like the Kentucky School of the Blind have had general fund dollars allocated for years.
These are schools that do not meet the court's definition of a common school. And if the court were acting consistently, the funding for those cherished programs would be on the chopping block as well. And I think that's very unfortunate.
Brown believes the General Assembly will opt into federal grant programs that will allow families to pay for charter schools, while Heiler hopes the focus can now be placed on public schools that she says need more funding. With photojournalist Aspen Hester, Clarice Shaley, WHS 11 Night Team on your side.
Also new tonight, more reaction we are hearing from the Speaker of Kentucky's House, David Osborne of Prospect. He says the court once again steps beyond its proper constitutional boundaries and usurps the clear, delegated authority of the General Assembly. While a joint statement we got from House Democrats on this says an important check on a multi-year effort by Republican lawmakers to undermine public education for the benefit of unaccountable charter schools, end quote.